Is Optics EQ race of the day for February the 3rd. We're going to look at Oaklawn Park race 6, and if the morning lines are any indication of what these horses might go off at, this could be kind of a lucrative race to play. It's difficult, but there's a lot of opportunity just based on what we're seeing. And the first thing we want to look at in the plot is the header, of course. This race looks like it has some contention in the speed rating. Typically 25 is kind of where the average is. So this is a little bit above average. It's not meltdown, but it's above average. So we anticipate a fast pace. If you look at the Optics RPM, which is kind of the run styles and how they match to the plot, you can see there's quite a few number of E and EP type horses. So that would indicate horses that kind of want the front end. So we expect contention. We expect a solid pace here. So when you're doing that, what do you want to look for? You want to look for horses that are the best of the speed, horses that are in quadrant 1 because that's still the best quadrant that could maybe shake off some other early pace horses and continue to go on. So you want to look at those, and squares usually help. And off the pace, presser closer types, who again are squares. So if we were to bring up the plot metrics for Oaklawn Park for 6 furlongs, would indicate that quadrant 1 is where you want to be, and basically in the other quadrants, you want to be a square. So if I was just quickly looking at this and trying to assess those horses, kind of 1 would pop to the top, 5, 12, and then maybe 3, 4, 6, and 11, the other squares. So that's kind of the horses that kind of just from just a quick view of the graph from the plot and the analytics, those are the horses that would be kind of somewhat interesting, and some of them at big price. So let's dig a little deeper. I've done a little work here on the filtering on the grid, and I really want to look at races this year on the dirt sprinting. I'm going to sort it now by speed figure so it comes to the top. And you can see, it's going to basically take a number kind of in the 79 to 89 range to win this race. Let's do a little bit more because we think this pace is going to be fast. I'm going to open up and unhide the race shape columns, and I'm going to look for 4 furlongs marker to be greater than 0. Just in essence, I'm looking for a fast pace race, and I want to see how the horses that we evaluated the plot do in that kind of pace scenario. And you can see some of the ones that jump to the top are the 1, 3, and 5. A little bit the 11, 12, but mainly it's the the 1, 3 look like the dominant players. And you can see the 3 has been able to come off the pace in fast paces, and the 1's been able to go wire to wire in some fast paced races. So those two kind of and again we've got this sorted by Optics Fig, so you can kind of see that. So, right off the jump, the 2 horses that we thought were big prices makes us feel a lot better about these horses, and be worth, giving a shot at a big price and using them in our exotics. So, essentially, that's kind of a quick assessment. Let's just now go and look at just the recent form and see if there's something really off about the 1 and 3. So I'm going to just kind of clear out the filters. And I'm going to look at the 1 first and see if there's anything, to worry about. Get this sorted by recency. And you see the 1, Blake Beauties, is making a second race off a long layoff of 125 days. So the track was a wet track that he ran on. You could see that the figure was suspect because there was multiple kind of dirt conditions that day. So won't hold that too much against him. The pace was fast. He kind of faltered. But I mean, you see the wins this horse has put together at this level. He's a really solid campaigner. He's been able to do it. If you see the contention here, races where it was a fast pace, contentious paces. So, it's at least projected to be contentious paces. So this horse has the capability of being the speed of the speed in this race. And again, this price seems real high to me, but who knows? And unless he's really a broken down horse, this seems like a good opportunity to kind of use him in a lot of different slots. And the kind of the best of the closers that we see, and at least closer that seems to be able to come from off the pace in fast-paced races. And you could see, his recent form, is against better. So he's getting the drop. He's getting a needed drop. He seems to be very competitive. If you go back to his 10-29 race, he's competitive at this level. And, he can be picking pieces up at the end. He's more than capable. And again, he should get a pace in front of him. He is a square in quadrant 4. So both those horses look viable. Again, look at some of the others that we mentioned when you just kind of look at the plot. But those are two horses you may be able to key on in a big mutual at Oaklawn, race 6, race of the day for Optics EQ.